The question is, which of the following anomaly needs consideration in restorative treatment? Let's take each one of them. An anomaloma is basically a very small tumor of a benign tumor of the aminoblasts. It is nothing but also called as an enamel pearl. These enamel pearls are actually located on the facial as well as the lingual surfaces of the mandibular molars, and they are located right at the CEJ or at the area of the furcation. They can also be seen on the, according to Carranza, and this was a question that was asked in AIMS, that with the most common location of enamel pearls is on the facial surface of maxillary second molars. Okay. So what exactly happens over here, that they are present at the CEJ or they are present at the area of the furcation. So because it is present in such a region, it poses a constant irritation because the gingiva or the junctional epithelium is not able to attach itself properly to the tooth structure in this region. As a result, over here there is going to be a constant source of irritation by the enamel pearl, and this enamel pearl will constantly cause migration of the apical migration of the junctional epithelium. Moreover, since it is a globulated structure that is attached to the tooth structure, there can be plaque that can be accumulated over here, and because of this plaque accumulation, it can be difficult to treat, and thereby it can lead to gingivitis as well as periodontitis. So enamelloma is something that needs consideration when you are undergoing periodontal surgery, because in periodontal surgeries, patients or rather enamel pearls are very common cause for uh, periodontitis or gingivitis. Coming to these two options, toradontism and dilaceration. Toradontism is basically where the pulp chamber is enlarged comically with the roots being extremely small, or the root length being small, whereas the pulp chamber occupies majority of the portion of the tooth. So in such a situation, what will happen is, when you're performing root canal therapy, you will have to actually gain access and remove all the pulpal tissue, and eventually your obturation is going to end only at the end of the root lengths. So the entire remaining pulp chamber, the entire complete pulp chamber is either going to be filled with gutta percha or is going to be filled with MTA, or it can be packed with gutta percha MTA combination or gutta percha and restorative material, that is your composite POR, post obturation restorations. So torodontism plays an important role in endodontics and not in restorative. Over here, when they talk about restorative, they are talking about a cavity which has been formed, which has not involved the pulp, and it only involves the dentine. Okay. Now coming to dilacerations, again dilaceration is an abnormal turn in the along the length of the root. So in this abnormal turn, what is going to happen is, when you're going to be doing biomechanical preparation, your instrument may, if it's not pre-curved or if it's not curved enough, it is going to go and cause perforation in the root. So dilaceration is going to be one of those situations where this can occur where it needs treatment consideration during extractions as well as during endodontics. Okay, the two, oral surgery as well as root canal therapy. Understood? Dents in dent. Now, what exactly is dents in dent? Dents in dent is basically a tooth within a tooth. So, you have the uh, normal tooth, and within this normal tooth, you will have another tooth which is present. Therefore, when you are performing root canal therapy, it is going to be, you will have to ensure that you are performing a proper root canal therapy. However, now one more important thing that you need to remember is, the most common location for a dents in dent is the maxillary second or the maxillary lateral incisors. Okay, why is it so? Is because on the lateral incisor you have what is called as a palatogingival groove. Okay, this palatogingival groove is actually deep, and it is a place where caries can occur and it can lead to progression and involve the pulp. In such a situation, what will happen is, you will actually start exploring the lesion, the carious defect, and you might end up exposing the pulp, or you might end up not assessing the case properly. Now, since the maxillary lateral incisors actually are the most common teeth to have dents in dent, the palatogingival groove, externally it may look like a palatogingival groove, but actually internally it may actually be a dense indent. That way, it is always important to do a CBCT in order to rule out the possibility of a dense indent, especially in patients who have deep palatogingival grooves. Okay. So that is why the answer to the question over here is dense indent, because you may think that it is caries and it may just need a GIC. However, if you end up excavating, you may find a dense indent.